Welcome to The Beauty Shift, proudly sponsored by Karenique.
For thicker, fuller hair at every age and every stage of a woman's life.
I'm Michelle Phillips.
I'm a celebrity stylist and beauty expert, a national TV personality, and self-confidence coach. And over the years, I've worked with some of the most recognized faces in the world, helping them look and feel their absolute best inside and out.
That ultimate inner outer wow. Now that's true beauty, my friends.
Welcome back to The Beauty Shift. I'm your host, Michelle Phillips. Today's episode is one that could truly change the way that you feel about yourself. It could change the blocks, the things that are holding you back, and it could also change how you feel about what's possible for your life. We are diving into a powerful tool that has helped millions of people, including me, shift their energy, release emotional baggage, and move forward with confidence. And this tool is called EFT, which is known as tapping. My guest today is none other than Brad Yates. What a great guy. He's an international speaker. He's a best-selling author, and he's one of the most recognized voices in the world of EFT. He has over 33 million views on YouTube. Brad has guided people across the globe, from entrepreneurs and athletes to everyday people, through the process of clearing limiting beliefs, reducing stress, and stepping into their most empowered selves. What I personally love about Brad is not just his expertise, but he's pretty funny, and he's got a big heart, and he's got a gift for making healing feel accessible, gentle, and even fun. So if you've ever struggled with self-doubt, fear of aging, body image, stress, financial worries, or that inner critic that just keeps whispering in your ear, you're not enough, this conversation is for you. So please join me in welcoming Brad Yates to The Beauty Shift. Brad, thank you so much for joining us today on The Beauty Shift. It's so great to have you here. It's been a while since we've been in touch.
It's great to talk to you again.
You've been traveling all over the world teaching EFT. And of course, I just mentioned in the introduction, you have like over 33 million views on YouTube, which is incredible. Fantastic. Not only congratulations, but it speaks volumes about what you're doing and how it's helping people. And so for those who don't know what EFT is, could you share that with us?
Yeah, absolutely. So EFT is short for Emotional Freedom Techniques. And a lot of us also just refer to it as tapping because it is literally a process of tapping with our fingertips on key points around the face and torso. And if you're new to this, I know it looks a little strange. You'd be wondering, what is Michelle thinking bringing that on? But there's a really good reason why we do it. Not only just as a beauty tip, it's really good for smoothing out wrinkles and things like that. But it's based on acupuncture. So for thousands of years in Chinese medicine, they said there's a flow of energy through the body along these pathways that are called meridians. And when the energy is flowing naturally, we experience our natural state of health and well-being, physically and emotionally. When this energy gets disrupted, we don't feel so good. We don't think as clearly. We don't make the best choices. And that has all kinds of unfortunate consequences for us. So in traditional Chinese medicine, the doctor would stick needles in these key points to stimulate that healthy flow of energy. And now we're just using our fingertips to tap and stimulate that. Now, we also have a growing body of modern research showing that this process sends a calming signal to the brain. So it downregulates stress, it balances out the nervous system. So there's all kinds of really positive benefits. In fact, the research has shown that there are all kinds of biological markers that show improvement when we're doing the tapping. Stress is reduced, the cortisol in our body is reduced, our immune system is boosted, happiness is boosted, depression is lowered. There's positive gene expression. There's all kinds of really cool things, so that while we're tapping, it's like, okay, this is really good for me in a number of different ways.
Yeah, and it also kind of rewires the brain, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of us, which I talk about a lot as a life coach, but my focus on self-confidence and self-worth, it's about our inner dialogue. It's about also all the things that we've been fed through society, which kind of programs us, right? As well as our upbringings. We have all these different, I call it like a big soup of thoughts and emotions that sometimes are not our own. And so it's really about getting clear with, I want to feel good about myself. I want to feel good enough. I want to feel happy, whole, all these things that we really want, yet our mind, we struggle with what's going on in our heads and our hearts because a lot of times they're not in that direct, uh, they're not in the same lane, let's say, or the same vibrational frequency. And they're
Yeah.
basically out of alignment. And so EFT for me, when I was introduced many years ago, and I'll talk about that later, my experience, but it really did help me kind of reprogram some massive fear I was having around public speaking, and feeling that fear, and recognizing it came from feeling like I wasn't going to be good enough, that people might not accept me. I might feel rejected, and maybe the audience won't take to me, all these things that went through my head. So, how does this process actually rewire our brains?
So when we are looking at something that feels threatening, we have a stress response. So we start saying to ourselves, if I'm up there and I'm public speaking and people don't like what I have to say, they're not going to like me. And
Yeah.
that feels threatening to me because of old experiences. Maybe I messed up while giving a talk in the third grade and everybody laughed at me, and I felt really stupid. So part of me decides back then, I'm not good at this and this hurts, so I don't want to do this anymore. So you get to a place like where you were at, and it's like, I want to do some public speaking. And part of you is like, oh, Michelle, what are you thinking? Don't you remember? And you may not consciously remember what it was. You just have a stress response. Something says, this is dangerous. And this is a brilliant part of our human mind is we learn so that we don't keep doing the same thing over and over again. If we eat something and we have a bad reaction, we don't eat that again.
Right.
So we have the same thing with experiences. So, and it may be either our personal experience of I gave a talk and everyone laughed at me, or someone said, you know, you really aren't very good at public speaking. You don't have a great voice, or you don't look right, sound right, think right, and so you should probably keep your ideas to yourself. In either they said it directly or they said something and we thought that's what they're telling me. And so we are designed to protect ourselves. So when we say, I'm going to do some public speaking, part of us says, what? That's insane. And we have a stress response. So as I said, the tapping primarily, its primary function is down regulating stress so that we can look at that and calm down that fear response that we have and say, what am I really afraid of here? What's the worst thing that could happen? People might not like what I have to say. Okay, that doesn't seem to stop a lot of other people from saying things. So why couldn't I, if it feels right and I want to do this, I can try this. And then we get these beliefs about ourselves and what we're capable of doing. And day to day, we like having a world that is familiar. And we know, when we get up in the morning, we like knowing the gravity is going to put us on the floor. So we have this about our beliefs. And when we try to change beliefs, then that feels stressful. If we woke up each morning and we didn't know if we were going to float up to the ceiling, then every morning we'd kind of stress out about getting out from under the covers. So we have a stress response to anything that feels unfamiliar. And so that's why we hold on to these old beliefs like, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not attractive enough, I don't have the right education. All of these old beliefs, even though part of us might know it's not true, after a while, it feels safer to do that. And trying to change has a stress response. Again, as we tap, we clear that need to hang on to the familiar. So that's what the primary thing we're doing in terms of rewiring it is we're clearing the stress that comes up when we try to think or behave differently.
I love that. And there is language that you use as well. I think we're going to walk through the process here in a
Oh yeah.
minute. And I love going to your YouTube page and I'll tap along with you. I'll figure out what topic I want to hit, whether it's, there could be stress, there could be financial, I'm sure I'm like writing down not good enough, all these different categories that you have. So if you're really saying, okay, I'm really stressed out lately and I want to reprogram myself. I find that your language when you're going through this process, and I'm tapping along with you, because I'd like you to share this before we start doing it, is I choose to love and honor and accept myself
Yeah.
is always, well, most often weaved into what you're actually reprogramming yourself with, no matter what category. Why is this important?
Yeah. So that's the setup in EFT. So we always start off by looking at what is the issue that I want to deal with. Either I'm feeling stress, I'm feeling anger, I'm feeling fear. And when we start tapping the side of our hand and say, even though I feel this anger, this stress, I choose to love and accept myself. And by stating that level of self acceptance, it creates the opening for the process to work. Because so often we are so judgmental about ourselves for not thinking and feeling perfectly. It's like, am I feeling depressed? No, 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 I can't feel depressed. I'm perfect. I got to put up a good face and have everybody think that I'm wonderful and I've got it going on and all that stuff. So we find anything less than perfect to be unacceptable. So that's why we start off by making the statement, even though I have this, I do accept myself. I use the wording choose because sometimes if you try to say, even though I feel this anger, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. If I don't feel that I love and accept myself, it may feel kind of blocking. So I find by putting the word choose in there, I'm not saying I don't love myself, but I'm not saying I'm necessarily there yet. And it kind of creates a buffer to be able to have that opening to then address that, because what we resist persists. So many people are brought up on the idea of only positive thinking. You never talk about anything negative. It's like, so if you break your leg, are you going to go to the doctor and say, let's talk about my arm? My arm feels really great.
Yeah.
Like, we
Right.
got to address where there's a problem. And
Right.
so, yeah, whatever uncomfortable feeling I have, I want to address that. And I want to say, and I'm choosing to love, honor, and accept myself, even though I'm experiencing that, because then I can do something about it.
Right. And, Louise Hay was a mentor of mine. As a Hay House author, I was so blessed that
Mm,
she and I spent a lot of time together and we did a lot of affirmation work. And the one thing that really struck me was, at first I was thinking, this is so hard to try to be positive all the time. And she said, well, first of all, that is an affirmation. So if you say it's going to be hard, it's going to be hard. So I was like, okay, I really have to watch what I say. Because she really, she was very, very clear about every thought you think and every word you speak creates your reality. And because our thoughts create our emotions are what drive our everyday choices. However, it's impossible to think positive all the time. But what Louise explained to me, and I think this is what you're saying as well, is I choose to love, honor, and accept myself. Is this is something that I want and I'm striving for.
yes.
So in order to get there, I'm choose to switch my thoughts over to more positive ones. Doesn't mean I'm necessarily in that place in the moment, but the more that we do this work, the more we will begin to believe and understand that loving ourselves is an important part of our journey. And when we do, those people, situations, experiences around us will start to mirror more and more of what's going on internally. When we're very negative, we're going to attract more negative. When we're positive, we're going to attract more positive. There's no such thing, though. I love that you brought that up, that we can be positive all the time.
Yeah.
So that's not what
Yeah.
we're going here for. It's just called, I'm choosing to reach for this because
Right.
at this time I need that and I want to get back to that state.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
You
it's
have
not
to.
about being perfect, right? Because I think that's the other thing. We beat ourselves up thinking we have to do it all perfectly.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Louise's book, it's not just you open it up and it just says, everything's fine. Nothing's wrong.
No, no.
There's a whole list of, she lists different ailments. You got to address it and then figure out what's going on there so you
Mhm.
can get to the other side.
Clear it.
And recognize, yeah, the idea that I am at my core, perfect health. And so I always, we were talking about being in Florence, and I went and saw my friend the David twice this
Yes,
last
it's
trip.
so cool. I love that.
So Michelangelo said that the statue is there perfect inside the marble. All I have to do is chip away what doesn't belong to reveal the masterpiece inside. So to me, it's a perfect metaphor for what we're doing with EFT is recognizing, yes, I am that masterpiece inside. And there is marble that needs to be removed. Michelangelo didn't look at the block of marble and say, "No, it's a perfect statue." Exactly. You don't see the David? That's something wrong with you. It's like, no, I recognize what's blocking it, what's covering it up, and now I remove that. And it's not out of hate. It's not out of judgment. It's not. He didn't sit there and hammer away, going, "Oh, this stupid marble, it's in the way. Oh, it's awful." So that judgment of I'm not perfect, and it's like, no, I am. I'm perfect at the core, and there's stuff that happens because I'm a human being and I have human thoughts and I've been subjected to human experiences. And it's impossible to think that I would be immune to all of that. And I would just, life happens and I just always think positive and great. It's having that positive thought of, yes, I am this masterpiece in there. I am worthy and deserving of love exactly as I am right now. And I want to look at what gets in the way of that, what thoughts are there. But because that means a change from what's familiar,
Right.
then I have a stress response. And so that's why, as we tap while we say affirmations, we clear the stress and we identify the uncomfortable thoughts that come up. Like if I
Mm.
say, I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, and I try to say that over and over again, there may be a part of me going, who are you kidding? Have you looked at your bank statement? And that's what I feel energetically. So it's not even so much, I mean, it's our thoughts, but it's the feeling that we have about our thoughts, the vibrational energy around that. So I can be saying I'm healthy, but if I don't believe that, then my energy is not I'm healthy. Our conscious mind is, 5-10% of our mind. The other 90 to 95% is unconscious. And so if 5% of me is saying I'm healthy and the other 95% is going, are you kidding? You're not nearly as in the kind of shape you were 6 years ago. You've really let yourself go. And that's the energy that I'm vibrating at, and that's what I'm creating from. So, and part of me wants to maintain that and feel stress about changing that. So as I tap, I can start to go, oh, you know what? No, I've made some unfortunate choices about my health, but I still have the capacity for health. At my core, I am that. At my core, I am connected to universal supply, so I am wealthy, and all of that uncomfortable energy that comes up, I can start to mitigate that and have a totally different vibrational feel.
And then that start attracting that to you.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm sure everyone is saying, okay, let's do it. Can you take us through how we actually do the tapping, where, and I know for those listening, it's okay. You can either check this video out on YouTube at Michelle Phillips Beauty, The Beauty Shift, or Brad is really good about taking us through the
Yeah.
process, even though
So
it's only audio. So
I'll
no
I'll
worries.
describe the points for those of you that can't see it at the moment. So as I said, when we start off by looking at what we want to shift. So again, if I'm feeling stress, and I could just say stress, or I could identify it more specifically. I'm worried about this report that's due tomorrow because my job is on the line, whatever it might be. And we rate that on a scale of 0 to 10 as to how intense that discomfort is. So maybe this fear that I have is at an 8. I'm really pretty worried about how this is going to go. And ideally, I notice also how I feel it in my body. So is it a knot in my stomach? Is it a tightness in my shoulders? So I'm aware of, okay, this is what I'm feeling. Now I'm aware of it. Now I can address it. And then we would start by taking the fingertips of your index and middle finger on your dominant hand. Now, the meridians run up and down both sides of the body, so you can tap the points with both hands. But for the setup, we're going to use our dominant hand and tapping on the edge of your opposite hand. So right between your wrist and your pinky. So right there in the middle there. And it's just a gentle tapping motion. This is a self-care process. We don't want to hurt ourselves.
Yep.
And as we're tapping there, we'll say, even though I feel this fear or this anger, this issue, whatever it might be, I choose to love and accept myself. And we'll say that 3 times. And that, again, is just setting up the situation and creating this opening for the healing. Yeah. And then we'll go through these points. So the first point that we're going to tap on the face is right at the beginning of your eyebrow point. So right at the beginning of either eyebrow. And again, if you want to use both hands, you can tap both eyebrow points at the same time. And generally, we tap these points between 5 and 10 times. You don't need to count. It's not an exact science. And then we repeat whatever it is that's bothering us. So we'd say, this fear, or this fear about this report. We follow our eyebrow out to the side of your eye. So right there at the corner of your eye socket, and gently tapping there. And again, this fear. Following the edge of your eye socket to right under the middle of your eye, just above your cheek. This fear. Right under your nose, just above your upper lip. This fear. Right below your lower lip, just above your chin. This fear. Now, right where your collarbones just about come together, there's a little bit of a U shape at the base of your throat. And you can use all of your fingertips or even make a fist and tap right where the collarbones just about meet. All this fear. Next point is about 4 inches below your armpit. It's right about bra strap level. And I'm sure even the guys listening to this can figure out where that is. All this fear. And then finally at the top of the head. So using all of your fingertips and just tapping around the crown of your head. All this fear. And you take a deep breath. And you check again and say, okay, on a scale of 0 to 10, how much fear do I feel right now? And if it was an 8 before, that could come from an 8 down to a 0 like that. It sometimes happens. Usually is more gradual. Even if it goes from an 8 to a 7.75, that's some relief. And we know that we're moving in the right direction. And also when we're tapping, it's often like peeling the layers of the onion and we get more awareness. So it may be, this fear about this report, this fear about this report, oh my goodness. It reminds me of this book report that I did in the 3rd grade, and I got a bad grade on it, and I got grounded for a week. And I've always been worried about reports that I have to do ever since then. And now I can clear an issue that's been bothering me for decades. And it's probably been limiting my choices in life, like the fear of public speaking. How many opportunities have we missed out on because something inside of us says, that's painful, don't go there. And now we can clear that out and say, all right, I'm going to do the report. I'm going to do as well as I can. I can't worry enough, to make it better. It's not like, when I turn it in, my boss is going to say, wow, I can tell you were really worried about this. It's, or say, look, it's not perfect, but I really worried about it. So I hope that makes up for anything that's lacking. There's no benefit to that. So giving ourselves permission to release that. And so we feel more relief. And then we can go back through and reword and say, even though I still have some fear, I choose to love and accept myself. This remaining fear. So that's the very basic version of EFT, is to identify the issue. Even though I have it, I love and accept myself, and then repeat the same thing on each point. And you will find that beneficial. Now, you can tap on just one point and you'll get benefits. And you can tap silently, because the process of tapping is sending this calming signal to the brain. It has, as I said, numerous benefits for our body and our mind. So don't worry about getting the words right. Don't worry about getting the points right in the right order. Any tapping you're doing is beneficial. So that's the basic version. I'd like to introduce that before
Yeah.
we go into the more free form version, because
Right.
if I do the free form version and people are new to it, then they say, wow, you have to come up with all these words. It's too complicated. I don't know how to do that. It's like, nope, no, it's
Right.
very, very simple.
Yes. No, I love that you broke it down like that because we can go into like the next level and that just to preface that, I remember Nick Ortner is who I was on tour with for
Oh,
Hay House I Can
yeah,
Do
for
It
the I can do it.
conference
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
Louise Hay and Wayne Dyer and all of us, Cheryl Richardson, and we're all speaking. And it was this new TED Talk type of speaking program that we went down from like having our presentations from an hour to 20 minutes. And we're in
Mm,
front of, 3 to 4,000 people, and we were in San Jose. And I remember, thank God Nick was there. 'Cause I was afraid, how am I going to do this in 20 minutes? Because I thought I had a lot to say
yeah.
and blah, blah, blah. I was scared to death. And so Nick started tapping with me. I'd never done it before to really remove that fear. And that fear was, I'm not good enough. And I did have an experience, which I talked about in a previous podcast here on the Beauty Shift, about how I was in Toronto and I was invited to do this big Power of Women tour with all these very famous women. And I got on stage and I spoke, and my agent called and said, "What happened?" I bombed. It was not good. Now, the next one, I had someone help me. So I actually got a standing ovation, but that was a very scary experience. And so I think, now that you say that, when we have that fear come up, it was because I was probably that past experience was scaring me to death. And so Nick took me through that process
Excellent.
of tapping, which is how I met you, because Nick was like, "You got to meet Brad. He's the best." And so, honestly, just doing that tapping, that I was good enough, which I feel like probably a lot of people that are listening here today, everyone has some level of not feeling good enough in some area of their life.
Number one
Um,
issue that plagues us as human beings. Yeah.
right. So it really helped me. I can, even just now doing this with you, I start to calm down.
Yeah.
I feel calmer.
Yeah.
That tapping just starts to bring me into a more centered space. So it did completely change how I felt, and I walked out on stage and I was fine. So, but yeah, so that's what I was thinking. Maybe we could do that. Not good enough, not for speaking, but just in general,
Oh,
because
yeah.
I know that is one topic that you do tapping on your YouTube page quite often, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's, as I said, it's the number one thing that bothers us and stops us from really loving ourselves. And years ago, I had the thought, I think my job is just to teach people to love themselves,
Yeah.
and it's clearing whatever isn't whatever gets in the way of that. I can't love myself because dot dot dot, and it's all nonsense.
Yeah.
But it's nonsense that is pervasive, and other people insisted on it, and things like that. So yeah, it's just chipping away what doesn't belong. And yeah, and the tapping, it does calm us down. Most of us are not aware of how much ambient stress we're carrying,
Right.
especially because most of us are carrying a cell phone that's constantly saying, "How you doing? Here's something to be upset about." And our cortisol levels are always up, and that has all kinds of unfortunate consequences for our body. And yeah, so that's why I recommend tapping on a daily basis, because it's energy hygiene. We have physical hygiene,
Absolutely.
like brushing our teeth and taking a shower. We don't usually wait until someone's holding their nose around us and go, "Oh, that's right. I haven't taken a shower in 3 weeks." Um, it's, but we do that with stress.
Yeah.
Most of us don't have a healthy way of dealing with stress. A number of us have unhealthy ways of dealing with it, but healthy ways of dealing with it. And the more stress we feel, the more our critical thinking is compromised. Stress pulls us out of our prefrontal cortex, so we're not even aware of the poor choices that we're making.
So
And
true. And even like a lot of the younger generation, I know my daughter struggles with anxiety,
yeah,
which is a lot of it is stress and fear that just gets overwhelming and then it turns into anxiety.
yeah,
So this is a healthier way to deal with it as opposed to shutting down or, you know, and that's what I always tell her is like, instead of focusing on it, let's focus on what we can do to change it.
Yeah.
And this is one modality that is very, very good at that. So I just want to take a quick moment to thank our amazing sponsor, Keranique, the go-to brand for women's hair growth solutions. If you're looking for healthier, thicker, more beautiful hair, no matter what hair concerns you have, Keranique has got you covered. Their products are clinically proven and dermatologist recommended, offering a complete hair care system, including treatments, shampoos, conditioners, and supplements to help you achieve stronger, fuller looking hair from the inside out. So whether you're starting your hair regrowth journey or maintaining gorgeous, healthy locks, Keranique has a solution for you. And as a Beauty Shift listener, you get 25% off site-wide. All you have to do is head over to store.keranique.com and use the code BeautyShift25 at checkout. Thanks again, Keranique, for supporting the Beauty Shift and helping women everywhere feel confident and beautiful. So now let's get back to the show. Well, if you want to take us through the process of like how you would, how you also share on your YouTube for maybe not good enough, would that be okay?
Absolutely. Okay. So what I'll invite everyone to do is go ahead and close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and hold it. And let it go. Just allow yourself to be present so that you can receive maximum benefit from this process. Just following your breath through your body and allowing yourself to be aware of what's going on inside, physically and emotionally. Imagine a full-length mirror and look in the mirror and say, I'm good enough. And rate that on a scale of 0 to 10. 10 being, oh, yeah, what's not to love? And do not judge yourself harshly if the number is lower than you'd like it to be. Just appreciate yourself for taking the time to look at this, because most people don't look at this and it trips us up in all kinds of ways. And now you're having the opportunity to look and make a positive change. So just recognize whatever doubts there might be and notice again what you feel physically, what you feel emotionally, and notice any thoughts, beliefs, or memories that come up as to why you couldn't or shouldn't feel good enough, why you couldn't or shouldn't love yourself more. Just allowing yourself to be aware of what goes on in there. Notice, again, on a scale of 0 to 10, how true or untrue it feels that you're not good enough. Take a deep breath, open your eyes. And so for the first round, you don't remember, don't worry about it. If you get the points wrong, it's fine. If you stick to just one point, it's absolutely fine. So here we go. Tap it on the side of the hand. Even though I might have doubts about being good enough.
Even though I might have doubts about being good enough.
I choose to love and accept myself anyway.
I choose to love and accept myself anyway.
Even though I might have doubts about being good enough.
Even though I might have doubts about being good enough.
I choose to love and honor myself anyway.
I choose to love and honor myself anyway.
Even though I might have doubts about being good enough.
Even though I might have doubts about being good enough.
Because I have experiences in life.
Because of the experiences in life.
Telling me that I'm not good enough.
Telling me that I'm not good enough.
I might have had people tell me that.
I might have had people tell me that.
And for some reason, I might have believed them.
And for some reason, I might have believed them.
And even though sometimes I doubt that I'm good enough.
And even though sometimes I doubt that I'm not good enough.
I choose to deeply and completely.
I choose to deeply and completely.
Love, honor, and accept myself.
Love, honor, and accept myself.
And maybe anyone else who contributes to this belief.
And maybe anyone else who contributes to this belief.
Because I choose to be that free.
Because I choose to be that free.
Okay, so now going to the eyebrow point. All these doubts about being good enough.
All these doubts about being good enough.
Side of the eye. All these doubts about being good enough.
All these doubts about being good enough.
Under the eye. All this fear that I'm not good enough.
All this fear that I'm not good enough.
Under the nose. All these beliefs about not being good enough.
All these beliefs about not being good enough.
Under the mouth. All this shame about not being good enough.
All this shame about not being good enough.
Collarbone. All of these reasons.
All of these reasons.
Under the arm. Why I doubt that I'm good enough.
Why I doubt that I'm not good enough.
Top of the head. And I choose to clear these.
And I choose to clear these.
And now going back to the eyebrow point and through the other points. All these doubts about being good enough.
All these doubts about being good enough.
I choose to be open to the possibility
I choose to be open to the possibility
that they might be based on they might be based on misunderstandings,
that they might be based on misunderstandings,
mine or someone else's.
mine or someone else's.
Maybe I went through an experience
Maybe I went through an experience
that I thought meant that I wasn't good enough,
that I thought meant I wasn't good enough.
and maybe that was a misunderstanding.
And maybe that was a misunderstanding.
I may not have been perfect in that moment.
I may have not been perfect in that moment.
That doesn't mean I'm not good enough.
That doesn't mean I'm not good enough.
And maybe someone else said I wasn't good enough.
And maybe somebody else said I wasn't good enough.
Who's to say that they're right?
Who's to say that they're right?
That's their opinion.
That's their opinion.
I don't need to take that on.
I don't need to take that on.
I understand that I'm not perfect,
I understand that I'm not perfect,
but I'm definitely awesome.
but I'm definitely awesome.
And I'm clearing any doubts about that.
And I'm clearing any doubts about that.
The fact is,
The fact is,
part of me already knows that I'm awesome.
part of me already knows that I'm awesome.
Otherwise, I wouldn't be here tapping right now.
Otherwise, I wouldn't be here tapping right now.
Part of me feels ready to know this
Part of me feels ready to know this
at a much deeper level.
at a much deeper level.
And I choose to clear all the fears
And I choose to clear all the fears
about acknowledging that I'm good enough.
about acknowledging that I'm good enough.
Because part of me knows I'm good enough,
Because part of me knows I'm good enough,
but I have reasons for doubting it.
but I have reasons for doubting it.
Because it sometimes feels safer.
Because it sometimes feels safer.
If I question whether or not I'm good enough,
If I question whether or not I'm good enough,
I get to stay safely in my comfort zone.
I get to stay safely in my comfort zone.
Part of me says,
Part of me says,
if I really acknowledge that I'm good enough,
if I really acknowledge that I'm good enough,
much less awesome,
much less awesome,
what kind of trouble would I get myself into?
what kind of trouble would I get myself into?
What opportunities would I say yes to?
What opportunities would I say yes to?
What risks would I take?
What risks would I take?
And part of me says,
And part of me says,
I don't want to take any risks.
I don't want to take any risks.
How convenient that I feel I'm not good enough.
How convenient that I feel I'm not good enough.
And now I'm on to myself.
And now I'm on to myself.
I can't keep playing that game anymore.
I can't keep playing that game anymore.
All these old reasons
All these old reasons
why I couldn't or shouldn't feel that I'm good enough
why I couldn't or shouldn't feel I'm not good enough
are based on misunderstandings.
are based on misunderstandings.
And I'm clearing up that confusion now.
I'm clearing up that confusion now.
Doing so at a cellular level.
Doing so on a cellular level.
And doing it all the way back through my past.
And doing it all the way back through my past.
Back through all those times in my life.
Back through all those times in my life.
Where I somehow got the message that I wasn't good enough.
Where I somehow got the message that I wasn't good enough.
I'm clearing up that misunderstanding.
I'm clearing up that misunderstanding.
There are always things I can improve.
There's always things I can improve.
But I am inherently good enough.
But I'm inherently good enough.
I'm inherently worthy.
I'm inherently worthy.
And quite frankly, I'm pretty darn awesome.
And quite frankly, I'm pretty darn awesome.
And when I see that about myself,
And when I see that about myself,
it's easier to see that about other people too.
it's easier to see that about other people too.
And help them feel good enough.
And help them feel good enough.
So I'm choosing to love myself.
So I'm choosing to love myself
in body, mind, and spirit.
in body, mind, and spirit.
And take a deep breath. Close your eyes. And just check in and look in that full-length mirror again and say, I'm good enough. And rate that again on a scale of 0 to 10. Hopefully that number's come up. And again, like peeling layers of the onion, you may have more awareness of any reason why you might doubt that.
Yeah, I love that process because it makes you, well, of course, you have clarity. Secondly, you realize how the thought processes that we have, uh, I don't want to say silly, but that's the word coming to me. I mean, I don't want to make anybody feel bad, but I
Right, right,
just
right.
felt silly for even thinking I'm not good enough, right? Because then it was like, oh my
Yeah,
gosh, I don't give myself enough credit. Is what was going through my mind. I'm not
yeah,
perfect, but and then thinking, oh, once I do clear this, so the clearing process of it, that I choose to clear it, that this isn't serving me anymore. That's what came to me personally. So I hope
yeah.
everyone else had their own experience. But how many times a day, a week? I mean, how often do you think people should really do this if they are wanting to improve? And then maybe how often if they're really struggling? Like there might be another level of struggle.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, if the struggle is at a certain level, I would recommend, working with a professional.
Yeah.
But again, I recommend tapping on a daily basis. But how often? It's like, how often and how long should I exercise?
Mm.
How many vegetables should I eat? How good should my diet be? I, more is generally better, but it's also, you can't exercise all day long. You can't
Right.
tap all day long. I tell people, they'll often ask, how long is too long to tap? I say, well, you want to be living a full life. So if you're spending all day long inside tapping, that's too much. The idea is to set yourself free to go out and live an awesome life and look at, why am I not doing that? What would be awesome and why not? Why not? Why not love myself? Why not think I'm awesome? Not perfect, but awesome.
Yeah.
And sometimes the idea comes, well, that would be arrogant. No, it's only arrogant if I say I'm more awesome than others, and it's good for the world. So it's looking at, why not, and then loving and appreciating it. What you were saying earlier, Michelle, about the what's no longer serving me, and it's recognizing I thought it was serving me before. All of the stuff we hold on to, all of the excess marble covering up the masterpiece, is there because some part of it says it's keeping me safe. I'm safe under this marble. It's serving me in some way. Believing that I'm not good enough is serving me if it keeps me from going out and standing up on a stage of 4,000 people and saying stuff, because 4,000 people might ridicule me. And the point I'm going, and
Yeah. You're not going to die. That's what happened
yeah,
to me. I didn't die.
there are plenty of performers out there who have very successful careers, who have bombed, totally bombed. It's like,
Tons of times on
yeah,
television, on stage, but,
yeah,
or even, just in general in life, there's things we make
yeah,
mistakes and that's what we learn from. But I agree
exactly.
with you. We self-sabotage if we feel we're not good enough. And there's always that thought of, I hope I'm good enough. For me now because I've worked through some of this, but I still have a little bit of the nerves and I think, oh gosh, I hope I do well or whatever.
Yeah,
But I don't let it um, hinder my ability to move forward because I have found that when I do it anyway, even though it scares me to death, and I have some tools to help me with it, such as the EFT. But what happens is that helps you build your confidence and it helps you realize that when I did stay in the place that I thought was safe way back when, I was secretly angry at myself and very unhappy because I wasn't going for the things I wanted in life. And that could be relationships, experiences. It doesn't have to be a job or a career.
no,
Or it
it's
could be
anything.
like we were talking earlier, like I want to go live in Italy.
Yeah,
I mean, it could be whatever your dream is. So yeah, don't let that stop you. And this is such a wonderful tool
yeah.
to do this
It's
work
recognizing that
naturally.
self-sabotage self-sabotage is simply misguided self-love.
Mhm.
When we are
Mm,
self-sabotaging, it's because some part is trying to protect us.
yeah.
It's like if we are afraid that we are about to step out into traffic and we trip ourselves and we fall on our face and go, that was really painful. Yes, but you didn't get hit by a car. So there is some part of it that is trying to protect us from something that we are convinced is dangerous for some reason.
Right.
And as we allow ourselves to tap, that's why the peeling the layers of the onion happens, because we stop ourselves from looking at things too deeply, because we might find, oh, it's not true. And the tapping calms down that fear such that we can look at it and say, okay, let me think back to that time in third grade when and everybody laughed at me. It's like, some people, that would be the start of a career as a comedian. It's like, wow, everyone laughed at me when I fell down or when I said something stupid. I really enjoyed making people laugh. And what some people feels embarrassed by, if somebody trips and falls, and it's like, oh, I'm totally embarrassed. Look at Dick Van Dyke,
Oh,
falling over on him.
I know.
They
He's
made
amazing.
built
And
a TV
I'm
show out
99 years
of
old. Yeah.
it. Yeah, I just
Incredible.
watched him the other day singing
I know.
Supercalifragilistic. It's amazing. Um,
Amazing.
so we can interpret things differently, and the tapping gives us that freedom to calm the stress that comes up when we think about things, and go, let me interpret this differently. And
Mhm.
and it may be, oh, I just needed to learn how to speak differently. I needed to learn how to narrow my speech down and get rid of things that I thought were important, but were more than I needed. And
Yeah.
it's just getting some training there.
Yeah.
And so just being able to see there's a different interpretation other than I'm not good enough, because that's not it. I'm a magnificent child of the universe. Of course I'm good enough. Anything else, it's like, okay, there may be a skill that needs to be developed. There may be some old habits that need to be let go of. Great, but my worth is not defined by that.
Exactly.
So everyone be tapping here for a moment, collarbone at different points, and say, I'm not defined by my past.
I'm not defined by my past.
I am not defined by my current circumstances,
I'm not defined by my current circumstances.
because you aren't.
Mm.
Now, your current circumstances have been created by how you were defining yourself.
Mhm.
So if I am thinking I'm not good enough, I will create, because we're creating a reality that we were saying earlier, from that belief. So it's not the truth that I'm not good enough. It's that belief about that has created circumstances that might suggest, because of poor health, because of poor finances, because of poor relationships. Oh, here's the evidence. No, it's not proof that I'm not good enough. It's proof that I was behaving from a belief that I wasn't good enough. So as I let go of the need to hold on to that, and sometimes that it scares us, because, but then everything will be different, and I'll wake up in the morning, and I'll look in the bathroom mirror and I'll call 911 saying there's a stranger in my house.
Yeah.
And I don't want to deal with the fear of that. And it's like, you are not your circumstances.
No.
And as we allow ourselves to clear the stress around change, then we say, you know what? I am worthy and deserving of the best this world has to offer. And there is nothing that is too good for me. I want to find out how good it can be. And then you have
Yeah.
fun with it. And you set goals like, I'm going to go live in Italy, whether it happens or not. I sit here and I have this picture of me speaking at the Royal Albert Hall. And it's like, and so when we were in London a couple of weeks ago, we did the tour, and I was in there. It's like, okay, getting my, familiar surroundings, no attachment. It's not like, oh, I have to feel bad until I have that. Because that's not manifesting energy. The
No.
pain that I feel about not having what's on my vision board is what's going to make it all come true. No. But if I feel peace about it, it's like, I'm going to manifest this or something even better for the highest good of all concerned. And just having goals about things, what excites me, and then just feeling as good as possible, and then taking action on wherever you can, sharing your gifts and talents. That's what it all comes down to ultimately, is we have gifts and talents to share. That's why I do what I do, is because I want everyone to reveal the masterpiece that's there. And so we want to chip away whatever stops you from being on the stage and making the difference that only you can make.
Absolutely. And those gifts and talents could be shared with just a child in your life. It doesn't
Absolutely.
have to be on a grand scheme. But if
Not
we're
about
coming
numbers.
from a place of not good enough or feeling unworthy, unhappy, sad, depressed, then we won't be sharing our gifts. And I love the gift that you give us all. And that is, to me, what's coming up is really getting clear, finding clarity in what our truth is. And then, as you said, when I felt Louise Hay, she's probably here with us right now. I felt, when you said all is well, everything is working out for my highest good. Only out of this good will come. I am safe. Life loves me. Or some of the mantras that she would say. I know I goofed up the order in which she would say it, but it doesn't matter. It's really, she would have us put our hand on our heart and one on our tummy and just say all is well. And it's about soothing yourself, loving yourself, honoring yourself, and knowing you are okay just where you are. And we wake up every day, um, and we're programmed to go, towards what's wrong with us, what's wrong with our life. But if we started our day even tapping and focusing on what's right with us, and my whole day, I start with gratitude. If I don't, it's just the whole day is not as, I just feel like when I focus on what I'm grateful for before I even get out of bed, my day just unfolds with more great things to be grateful for. Right? You get out of bed, and
Absolutely.
the dog's running out the front door, and everything's going crazy. It just seems like it unfolds from there. So it's really about, how do you want your days to be, your moment by moment, being in the present moment. And your gift that you give everyone, Brad, is just incredible, just wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Where can we go to practice with you? I mean, do you actually do one-on-ones, or are you mainly doing everything online?
I do one-on-one sessions. I have online group sessions, and then I do workshops like in Italy and London a couple weeks ago. Yeah, a number of things. I have certainly on YouTube, and also the easiest way is to go to my website, tapwithbrad.com. There's a couple of free programs there. There's a free 5-day program called Success Beyond Belief, and another one called Tap Into Your Best Self. So you can find those at tapwithbrad.com, and good way to go in and clear that stuff that stops you from feeling your best and creating the best life. So hopefully folks will check that out.
Absolutely. I will make sure it's also in the notes for this podcast, and so everyone can click on that link and definitely go to your YouTube. That's where I go and I tap with you. So thank you for that as well.
My pleasure. Yeah, there's over 1,500 videos there now, I think. So,
Wow. Wow. Well, you are phenomenal, really. And I appreciate you taking time to be with us today. When I
oh,
started this podcast, I was like, I'm reaching out to Brad. Oh my gosh, you're such a gift to this world, and you're changing so many people's lives. So I thank you so much, my friend, for your time and for all that you do for all of us.
oh, well, thank you, Michelle. Thank you for sharing your gifts the way that you do. And thank you for this opportunity. And thank you to everyone watching or listening and being open to sharing more of your gifts.
Brad, thank you so much for today. Your warmth, your humor, your wisdom, such a gift. And this conversation is such a beautiful reminder that we don't have to carry all the weight of the world or limiting beliefs on our shoulders anymore. Tapping is simple, it's powerful, and it's available to all of us anytime, anywhere. And for all of you, if you would like to check out Brad's work, just go to tapwithbrad.com, or you can find Brad Yates on YouTube. And if you love this episode, please share it with a friend who might need some emotional freedom today. And don't forget to subscribe to The Beauty Shift for more empowering conversations. So until next time, be kind to yourself and know you are already enough just as you are.
I want to take a moment to thank our sponsor, Carinique, for thicker, fuller hair at every age and every stage of a woman's life. I hope you enjoyed the show, and if you did, please feel free to share with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss an episode. And if you'd like to receive my free beauty and wellness gifts, just go to my website, michellephillips.com. I also invite you to join my social media community on Facebook and Instagram, Michelle Phillips Beauty.